What would you do if you woke up and your entire savings, your retirement plan, all of your assets, everything that you had was gone? In this video, we're going to discuss a little known secret to protecting your hard-earned money as we are on the verge of a potential stock market crash, a housing bubble that will pop quite possibly this year, and what may go quickly from a recession to a full-blown global depression. But first, I want to let you know that you do not need to be afraid. Do not be controlled by fear. Rather, listen to this video, pay attention, and use this time to grow your wealth and protect your family. You are in the right place at the right time, and we're getting started right now. World War III, inflation, crude oil at dangerous levels like it was in 2008 before the Great Recession, and now the US government is coming after cryptocurrency. The world is once again consumed with fear. When we are consumed by fear, we stop thinking. Now, this is not my opinion. Actually, this is a scientific fact. The emotional panic that accompanies fear actually shuts down the prefrontal cortex, or the rational thinking part of our brains. Now, let's face it, people make bad emotional decisions out of fear. A populace that stops thinking for itself is a populace that is easily led, easily manipulated, and easily controlled. Now, look, let's think about the last 2 years. Everything on the news, on social media, and inner conversations was related to fear of getting sick with COVID and dying. We were concerned for our children, our family members, our friends, our co-workers, our neighbors, and rightfully so. We're humans. We care about other people. But we have been divided at every possible point and made to be afraid. Think mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine. Now that that's kind of passing, what is everyone afraid of? Well, and now it's World War III and Russia invading Ukraine. In case you watch the news, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. The high price of gasoline is definitely not a result of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. It actually started on day one of Joe Biden's presidency, and now as a result of fear, massive government spending, and the inflation has gone even higher, creating more panic. The cost of groceries, they're skyrocketing. Gas prices are so high, I'm even considering trading in my Mustang for a Prius. Well, not really. Welcome to Ask the Lender. Thanks for checking out this video. This is your go-to channel for advice on current market trends, wealth building strategies, how to pay less money in taxes, plus housing market updates and mortgage advice. So if you or someone you know currently owns a home, make sure to stick around just for a few more minutes as I share an opportunity for you to build wealth while paying less money in taxes. You don't want to miss this. If you do not know who Saul Alinsky is, you should definitely look him up. I provided a link in the description below, but basically Saul Alinsky was a radical Marxist community organizer back in the 60s, and he wrote this book called Rules for Radicals. Now, this playbook has been used by the political elite for decades to manipulate and control world populations. Look, on the dedication page, it actually acknowledges Lucifer, also known as Satan, the devil, as the original radical who gained his own kingdom. What does this tell you about Mr. Alinsky? He's probably not a very good dude, if you ask my opinion. Do me a favor and help my channel out by subscribing and clicking that bell right there to get notified when I share more helpful content just like this. The reason I bring up Saul Alinsky's radical playbook is because rule number 3 is actually to cause fear. It specifically says to look for ways to increase insecurity, anxiety, and uncertainty. The entire world has been living in a state of fear for 2 years, and now that most people are over COVID lockdowns and the political elite needs you to be afraid of something else, guess what they're doing? They're giving you a new shiny object to be afraid of, and that is a nuclear war with Russia. Don't get me wrong, I'm in no way downplaying what is happening. I simply am saying follow the money. If we really wanted to punish Russia, we would stop buying their oil and ramp up production here in the United States. But we'll do that in another video. That's not what this is about. So stick around just a little bit longer where and when I reveal a little known strategy that allows you to grow your money when the markets are good, have your gains locked in, and be safe when the market collapses, because it always happens. You should also know that the very wealthy use this same strategy and have done so for more than 100 years. They just don't want you, the common person, to know about it because, well, they won't be able to get their fingers in your pocket. Let's get back to the playbook that's being used. Check this out. Rule number 8 of the Rules for Radicals says, keep the pressure on, never let up. Keep trying new things to keep the opposition off balance. There's always going to be a new thing to be afraid of. Rule number 9, the threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Imagination and ego can dream up many more consequences than any activist. On to rule number 12, it says, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Cut off the support network and isolate that target from sympathy. Well, guess who that target is now? Russia itself has been isolated from banking, sports, and subjected to crippling economic sanctions that has led to the collapse of the Russian stock markets. Look, check this out. Just the other week, on Thursday, February 24th, the benchmark MOEX Russia index closed 33% lower in Moscow, erasing a whopping $189 billion in shareholder wealth. Remember the Great Recession? On September 29, 2008, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell by 777 points in intraday trading. Now, until the stock market crash of March of 2020 at the start of COVID, at the start of the pandemic, it was the largest point drop in history. Life as we know it would change forever that day. As you can see, I live oceanfront. People who live near the ocean are aware of the damaging effects hurricanes can have on their property. During hurricane season, you must be prepared. You board up your windows. You secure the loose furniture that's on your balcony or deck, any other loose item that can become weaponized by the wind. And you also stock up on basic supplies. And that's the mindset you should be having right now. It's hurricane season 2022. Now, in 2008, my father was a few months away from retirement. And after the markets crashed, he had to work an additional 4 years just to get back to where he was prior to the collapse. In March of 2014, just 3 small months into retirement, he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, basically a death sentence. And it was at that moment I knew I had to get out of the markets and find an alternative. So here is the little known wealth strategy I promised you. After my father passed, I went on a search for a better alternative to the stock market. And what I discovered was this little known secret that I'm going to share with you that helps you build wealth and maybe even eliminating risk. The best part is this strategy has a contractual obligation that allows you to participate in stock market gains and be shielded from market losses. It's a contract. Now, full disclosure here, I'm not a financial advisor or a planner. I'm simply a hardworking dad who has experienced loss. This little known strategy uses a specially designed life insurance policy, also known as an insurance contract. That's key, because in this strategy, the death benefit is lowered, thus reducing the cost of insuring you. And by lowering these costs, you are now able to grow more of your money faster. You can even become your own bank and borrow from yourself. Look, you're going to pay yourself back with interest, thus increasing your own personal wealth. You're not paying the banks the interest, you're paying it to you. So if you have money in the stock markets, real estate, even digital currency, are you offered a written agreement promising you growth and giving you protection from risk, or even a return of, not just on, of your investment in the event of a crash? Oh, hell no. That's the answer. Hell no. You're not given that guarantee. And here's another reason I use this strategy. It allows for tax-free distribution in retirement. Plus, in the event that I do die, eventually, it happens, my family is guaranteed a death benefit. It's safe, stable, and secure. There's nothing to be afraid of, and you can now stop living in fear of losing everything you have worked hard for. You participate in market gains, often up to 14% returns. And even if the market crashes, you are locked in and safe, able to weather that Category 5 financial hurricane. And if you own a home, you should consider doing a cash out refinance while you have that equity and rates still are at very low levels. When, not if, the housing bubble pops, you will not be able to access your equity. Consider using that equity today to create your contract and gain the peace of mind you may already be looking for. And if you have money in other places, especially the stock markets, this may be a good alternative. If this strategy sounds like something you want to explore, there is a link in the description below to schedule a time to discuss. Look, there's no cost, there's nothing for sale, there's no obligation. We can simply discuss your goals, your concerns, and find a good solution. If you have found this information helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking that bell right there to get notified. If you have credit cards, I got something for you. I've created a video specially for you. Your credit card debts will be going up this year, so click on this video right here, that one, to be prepared. See you next time on Ask the Lender.